Ellie, welcome. Great to see you. So, in this new report from ADL, what stands out to you most?
Well, Jenna, John, it's wonderful to be with you as always. What stands out to me is the fact that the report also states that we've seen a lot of pro-terror activity on our campuses, on our city streets. And I think this should be alarming to all Americans. We've all seen the footage on television news, including your own coverage, where there are people who are literally waving the flags of foreign terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas, or wearing the headbands of these organizations. And so this is a threat to all of us in the United States. It's a national security threat to all Americans to understand that there are people here who are supporting foreign terrorist organizations. And it's exactly the reason why the Trump administration is taking the actions that it is to deport those who are here, who are breaking the terms of their visas, and also to hold the universities accountable for this, allowing this kind of activity to flourish on their campuses.
The ADL report hinted at this. Why do you think college campuses have become major hotspots for anti-Semitism? And with Harvard now suing the Trump administration over funding cuts, what does that say to you about how schools and the government are handling the issue?
I think what it shows us about our universities and academia is that for too many years, I think we can trace this back to the 1960s even, we've allowed academia to be hijacked by a radical left kind of Marxist ideology where it's professors bringing in other professors who share the ideology and giving them tenure and making it incredibly difficult for viewpoint diversification, which is something that the Trump administration is fighting the universities on right now as we speak. Now, in terms of Harvard, I want to remind our audience that Harvard University has an endowment of over $50 billion. That's greater than the GDP of over 100 countries in the world. And so the notion that Harvard is suing the US government so that they can get our taxpayer dollars is just nerve upon nerve. All Harvard had to do to date was just fight the anti-Semitism on their campus, fight this pro-terror movement that's flourishing on their campus. And they've not only failed to do so, but they've decided that they're going to fight the Trump administration instead. It's a real shame and disgrace for what's considered our most elite universities in this country.
Yeah, Ellie, as someone who's worked on this issue on a global level, is this spike in anti-Semitism unique to just the U.S., or is it a broader international trend?
Jenna, sadly, it is a broader global trend. Since October 7th, we've seen that there is this pro-Hamas movement that's taken over countries around the globe. And Jenna, it's also state-sponsored. So we've seen even our own DNI under the Biden administration came out and told the American people that the Iranian regime has funded and coordinated some of this activity. We know that there's other radical Islamist forces in the Middle East that are, again, funding and organizing this activity around the world. And so this is a serious effort by countries. It's not any kind of an organic grassroots movement, which is what these governments would have us believe it is.
Real quickly, what's your message to those Jewish Americans in the face of these rising numbers, if you can, in a sentence or two?
Well, I think that sadly, Jewish history has us persecuted throughout time, but staying strong to the Jewish faith, staying strong to the tradition is what's held us through the thousands of years, through millennia, and we need to stay strong in our Jewish identity. And I'm always grateful to CBN for having the conversation.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Ellie Cohanim, we're always grateful to have you and your insights. Have a great night.